Okay, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, just welcome. My name is Rusty, and this is me chat where I talk about my favorite movies, mostly horror, and my favorite music, mostly metal. And welcome to the twofer. This is day 7, as we put a toe tag on my second Shark Week, day 7 of Shark Week, and it is also day 1. Welcome to day 1 of Found Footage Week. And that is, we are going to be talking about Open Water 3, Cage Dive. Now, Open Water 3, Cage Dive, I find it very interesting how different these three movies are. They're a trilogy of movies, but they are extremely different than each other. And each one is very good. I like each one of them. It's like 3 different genres of movie. Open Water 3, Cage Dive was released in 2017. It was directed by Gerald Rascionato. And written by Gerald Rascionato and stars Joel Hogan, Josh Potthoff, and Megan Peta Hill. Now, as I said, this movie is a found footage movie. It consists entirely of a TV interview, TV news reports, and the camera footage from our stars. So, the movie opens with news reports. These are Australian news reports about a shark cage dive boat that was hit and capsized off the Australian coast by a rogue wave with bunches of people missing, including 3 Americans. Josh and his brother Jeff, and Megan, who is Jeff's girlfriend. So, we then switch to an interview with a diver named Mark. Now, Mark found a underwater camera where the found footage comes from. And what they have done is this is all basically a special report. They've decided to release all of the footage from the camera showing this entire story, interwoven with the interview of Mark, and then an interview of Jeff and Josh's cousin, whom they had came to see. So you have the interviews of them talking about the footage, and then you have the footage interlaced with the original news reports. So it's sort of like you're watching a documentary, a very sad one and gross one and interesting. And the sharks are back in this one. So, Jeff is talking about how he found this camera and he thought it was neat and he got it out. It was waterproof, and he took the SD card out and saw all of these videos, realized what it was because he had heard about the news reports, and released the videos on social media, trying to find out who these 3 people were, for curiosity, for their families, and for the authorities to know who these 3 people missing were. I mean, there's other people missing, but their bodies are found and stuff like that. So we start then seeing the footage, and we see the 3 of them at home getting ready for a trip and going on little holidays, and it's like home movies. We're introduced to the character through these videos, and one of them, they had found a $100,000 reward for this extreme adventure website that if you send in your audition tape, and if you are chosen, you get to be on the show. So they come up with the idea that they will go shark cage diving in Australia, where his cousin lives, from California. So he's going to go. They're going to go to Australia to where his cousin lives, and they are going to do this adventure with the shark cage dive as an audition tape. You know, their journey and their stuff as an audition tape to try to get on this Survivor type show. So that's where this video is coming from. So we get to, you know, see them, get used to them and all of their little antics. They're likable. All three of the characters are likable characters. There's little interviews with friends and family about their arrival. You get to see videos of them going out and having fun, seeing the whales and boating and party night and all this kind of stuff. Like I said, it's supposed to be an audition tape, or it was going to be an audition tape for an extreme adventure show like Survivor or something. So, we also get hints that Jeff and Megan are having an affair, Josh and Megan are having an affair behind Jeff's back when Jeff is actually going to propose to her on this trip. So that's kind of shitty of them. And it will come out later. So we get to sort of learn that as we go along. We see the last day before the trip, where that's how we found that out, was he filmed a little segment where he was going to, for the producers of that show, you know, hey, another thing I'm going to do on this trip is I'm going to propose to my girlfriend Megan. And so, you know, just to kind of show you how fun we are and how we should be on your show. Now, what he didn't know was that when she knocked on the door, he hid the ring and threw a towel over the camera and left. And it was still going. And that's when Josh came in and started fucking around with Megan. Now, he never saw that. But it came really close because there's a scene where he is like, hey, Josh, come here. I want you to watch this. And Josh realizes that, oh my God, I'm fixing to walk in that room and me and Megan are going to kiss. So he distracts Jeff, because what Jeff wants him to do is to edit it correctly to be part of this audition tape. So he keeps him away from the computer. You know, it's like, okay, yeah, I'll edit it. You know, I'll edit it. You know, it'll be all right. So that was kind of crappy, knowing that was going on. Then we get to see them, you know, go to the town. Adelaide is where they go to, because they were in Sydney when this is going on. So they go to Adelaide, where they're going to go out on the cage diving boat. So they go there. You see, you see them getting prepared and arriving at the boat, and they're going to do the cage dives. You see other people cage diving and stuff like that, and then it's finally their turn. They film themselves down there in the cage. Now, you do realize, right, they've chummed the waters, so the fucking place is eaten up with like makos and great whites and stuff like that, because, you know, got to put on a big show for the tourists in this cage dive. It wouldn't be a cage dive if there wasn't any sharks, right? So they got the waters all chummed up, and you actually get to see, and it's a pretty cool scene, while they're in the cage, and the cage like rattles and stuff, and it makes them come to the top right as that rogue wave hits the boat. So it's like a Titanic. I mean, not a Titanic. a Poseidon adventure. It's like a Poseidon adventure moment. And that was really good special effects when that wave hit the boat. And then bim, bam, boom, everybody's fucked. The boat is demolished, turned upside down. The, 40 people that were on that boat, crew and tourists, are all over the place. And you're in a complete chummed, shark-frenzied water full of sharks. So, yeah. Now, of course, you're seeing this through all of the camera of these people. So, while the three of them in the cage, it happens. Survivors are freaking out, floating by. Many are dead, and sharks are attacking some of the survivors. Some of those scenes will really make you jump. That one guy right over there. It was a girl, or was it a guy? It's like right over there, and he's like swimming towards them, and boom, he gets hit. Because these sharks are, like I said, they're all in a frenzy. They've got the water full of chum and blood, and now you've got a bunch of survivors and dead bodies in the water. So, yeah, things are not cool. So, Megan's leg gets cut. The three of them are floating away from, because, get away from this area, They're trying to find anyone. They keep overlooking. They see the rescue, but they keep being overlooked by, the copters and stuff like that. Because it was afternoon already anyway, so it's getting dark. Jeff has got a heart condition. So Jeff he's experiencing chest pains and stuff like that because he doesn't have his medicine with him. So they're trying to keep him, to take it easy. Then, of course, you have a big storm that rolls in. Megan is tired about them. One of the things that she said is would you please turn that fucking cam off? I mean, are you seriously going to film us all dying out here? They go through nighttime. They did a compact raft, and I swear I wanted to kill Megan after this, but a compact raft is floating by, and they manage to get it, and they figure out what it is, right? Now, there's a lot of... I'm skipping over a lot. There's lots of scary scenes. They find this compact raft, and they blow it up, and it's one of those rafts that are very sturdy, and it's got the tent and everything on it. So it blows up. They end up getting on that. There's plenty of food, water in there. So they would have been all right. There's even flares and stuff like that. They fire one of the flares and they're like, okay, we can use this later. When they come back out searching tomorrow. However, of course shit's going to happen. They hear someone making noise or something. They think it's a shark, and it turns out to be this near dead survivor. So they pull her into the boat, and they're trying to warm her up, and stuff like that. Now, where the fuck Megan would have got an idea like this, I do not know. But it's I'm gonna fire one of the flares, and they're like, you're going to fire one of the flares where? In the tent? Are you stupid? It's not a torch. I mean, you're not going to fire it and it's just going to cause a flame that you can warm this lady up with. That's not the way it works. It's going to shoot like a rocket, you dumb bitch. And so the guy starts trying to get it from her. What are you doing? And what do you think happens? The fucking thing goes off. The fucking raft goes up in flames. They manage to get off, and that poor woman is screaming, burning alive in that raft. And that's when the three of them are no longer friends. You know what I mean? It's like you're a stupid bitch. You're fucking, and then he finds out, right, about I can't remember what she says. She says something about, I already feel guilty enough, because she's bitching at Josh. It's like, I already feel guilty enough about what's went on, which then prompts Jeff to like go, what are you talking about? What is it that y'all feel guilty about? Have y'all been sleeping behind my, are y'all fucking around behind my back? So that goes all, and you're like, this is not a good time for, Dallas drama, like Knots Landing or Dallas kind of drama. I mean, you just burnt a bitch alive. You're surrounded by sharks in the middle of the night. You just burnt up your food and water laden raft, being idiots, and now you're going to fight about, JR sleeping with somebody else again behind Sue Ellen's back. I mean, it's not the time for, prime time, what do they call them, prime time soap drama. And yeah, so Jeff realizes, like I said, Jeff realizes that they were cheating. Who gets got by a shark? Jeff confronts Josh about it. Big giant fight. Jeff then is so upset. He's like, fuck you both. I'm going. I'm leaving. And he promptly has a heart attack. So, Meg got eaten. Meg got eaten by a shark, which, considering what she just did, burning that tent up and burning that poor lady alive, I don't know, it seemed like justice, but her death scene was pretty fucking gross. So, Jeff has a heart attack, and then Josh is left alone, right? His brother dies in his arms, which is very, very sad, especially knowing what he did with him, because it was probably finding that out that caused him to have a heart attack and die. So Jeff's alone, and then he finally hears the helicopter. Yeah. And it sees him. He manages to get to the surface, and he's attacked by a shark. And the shark pulls him down right as that helicopter had saw him. And he gets away from the shark and comes back to the surface, and the shark pulls him down again. And then we have, like, I guess what you would call the icing on the cake scene, and that was head on first person from the camera. That shark comes, grabs him, rips his mask. The camera is like doing that, so you're seeing the shark rip him to shreds. It was very filmed very well, that scene. And that was it for the footage, because Jeff's dead. That's where the camera had fell down, where Mark had found it at the beginning of this special documentary on this horrible, tragic story. And the film ends like a special report would end. And it's ends with the final moments of the interview with the cousin, who was talking about, okay, now that's all the footage. I just want people to know they were wonderful people, and despite the horrible shit that we've just watched, I hope they still feel for them in some way. And that's how it ends. The movie ends with him giving his final thoughts and how horrible everything that you witnessed in this movie. So, if you're into found footage movies, This is a very, very interestingly filmed found footage movie. They definitely nailed the genre. The shark attacks were nice. The rogue wave destroying the boat was nice. That poor woman being burned alive was awful. Meg getting, I don't know if you'd call that karma or not, but getting her stupid ass ate was interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's a good movie. I'm glad that I had it. And for your information, 2 and 3 was a first time watch for me. I've seen Open Water many, many times. I had never seen 2 and 3. And I planned it this way to where this movie would lead into Found Footage Week. And I've got Found Footage Week planned too to lead into something else. Well, what is it? The Cloverfield trilogy. So, like at the end of Found Footage, it'll be the Cloverfield. I'll end the Found Footage Week with Cloverfield, and then do 10 Cloverfield Lane and Cloverfield Paradox. So that will lead into that. So, yes. Welcome to Found Footage Feed. Found Footage Feed? Welcome to Found Footage Week, as well as goodbye to Shark Week. So, I really think these things out. And I'm having so much fun. If nobody ever watches these, that's okay. I'm having fun doing it. So, love you, miss you, bye. Always remember, never forget, you're a very special person no matter what anybody says to you. And this is the found footage film, quote, Shark Attack film, / aka Shark Attack film. Open Water 3, Cage Dive. It's a found footage shark attack film. Very, very interesting. What did I give it? 6.7 out of 10. It was very good. This is a nice trilogy to watch. Because first you watch that psychological drama and shark attack movie, very tense. Then the second one is completely psychological disaster trauma movie with no sharks. Then it comes back to some very good shark action and a found footage film. So it's very, very interesting. It's a very interesting little trilogy. I really like this. And yeah, that will do it. Day 2 of Found Footage Week will be next, and I will see you then. Love you. Miss you. Bye-bye. Tell me what you think if you have seen any of these. Do you own this trilogy? If you don't, it's definitely worth it. It's definitely a fun little shark night to watch all 3 of these together. And I will see you in day 2 of Found Footage Week. Bye-bye. After I hit the button, of course.